You ever come home after a week of hell, just dreaming of a cold beer and some peace, and end up living out the worst episode of Cops right in your own living room? Yeah, let me tell you, nothing prepares you for pulling up to your house on Elmidge Drive, bone-tired from a detective gig in Denver, and realizing that everything you ever loved about your home has been obliterated by the world's most inconsiderate squatters. You want a story, buckle up, because this isn't just some neighbor drama. This is the kind of tale that has your blood pressure rising and your neighbors peeking through their curtains praying they're not next. First thing that hits me isn't even what I see, it's the smell. Like if you locked old pizza dirty gym socks and a failed biology experiment in a closet for a week and then let it loose on your favorite hardwood floors. My Saturday morning polished sanctuary was now a landfill of pizza boxes, energy drinks, and trash, so deep I could barely see my rug. The TV's blaring, my furniture's trashed, and I'm standing there, mouth open, wondering if I'd walked into the wrong house or just stepped onto the set of Hoarders the Apocalypse. But the real horror is coming from the basement, my basement, the one spot in the world that's just mine, man, cave office bar, all of it. I hear heavy footsteps below, like someone's auditioning for an off-brand Godzilla movie. Down the stairs, I go adrenaline pumping. And what do I find Bradley Hutchinson, the grown-ass bleach-blonde son of Karen Hutchinson, my neighbor, HOA tyrant and world-class pain in the you-know-what laid out across my Italian leather sectional. He's got my gym shorts on my Batman tee stretched tight over his gut feet, filthy pizza grease on his face, looking right at home, and about as embarrassed as a dog caught on the couch. "Oh, hey, Mr. Barker," he mumbles, barely glancing up from his sixth slice of pizza. "Didn't expect you back so soon." He says it like I'm the intruder, not him. I have to grip the rail to keep from wringing his neck. The nerve, no, the audacity of this kid calling himself independent while trashing my house, eating my food, and leaving a trail of toilet paper from my bathroom to the couch like he's marking his territory. I ask him, trying to keep my voice steady, what the hell he thinks he's doing. He shrugs, says Karen said it was fine. She's got keys, you're never home anyway, so she figured her precious boy could get a taste of the independent life. You know what I mean? At this point, it's not just trespassing, it's a full-on home invasion, complete with the destruction of every last thing I've worked for. I look around my pool tables covered in comic books, video game controllers everywhere. My fridge is empty except for the smell, and my pool cues are now Bradley's personal back scratchers. He even tries to act like I should be grateful, like he's doing me a favor by keeping the place lived in. You want to talk about entitlement? This guy is the poster child. But here's where things turn. I lay it out for him. This isn't a crash pad. It's my house, and he's leaving right now. Suddenly, he gets aggressive, chest puffed out, greasy finger pointed at me. I got rights. I've been here 6 days. That makes me a legal tenant. He's threatening to call the cops like he hasn't spent the last week turning my basement into a landfill. I've dealt with my share of dumb criminals, but the stupidity mixed with bravado is almost impressive, almost. I tell him straight he's a trespasser, not a tenant, and if he doesn't leave, he's looking at burglary, theft, and a whole stack of charges. But Bradley, he decides to lunge at me, all 300 pounds of him swinging fists and screaming about showing me who's boss. You gotta be kidding me, right? But 20 years on the force and a gym habit means I'm not exactly an easy target. I sidestep, drive my elbow into his gut, and down he goes, wheezing and whining, looking up at me with tears in his eyes. Before I can even get him to the stairs, the basement door slams open, and here comes Karen in all her leopard print, bottle blonde, HOA board member glory, screaming at me to let her baby go. She barrels down the steps, shrill as a car alarm, and launches herself between me and Bradley, calling 911 before I can get a word in edgewise. And here's the twist: she tells the dispatcher that a violent black man is threatening her son in his own home. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm a detective in the same department she's calling, but she's already playing the helpless victim. The show she puts on, flipping from shrieking banshee to trembling damsel, is honestly impressive in a tragic daytime soap kind of way. He's got a gun. He's dangerous. She wails while Bradley, suddenly inspired, throws in his own lines about being attacked for no reason. So now I'm stuck waiting for my own colleagues to respond to a domestic disturbance at my house. Sirens, blaring neighbors, rubbernecking Karen and Bradley, still deep in their delusions. When the officers show up, Martinez, Chen, Rodriguez, I can see the recognition in their eyes. The kind of, oh no, you only get when work and personal lives collide. Karen's halfway through a fresh set of lies when Martinez, bless him, calmly tells her I really am a detective with the department. You should have seen her face, pure blinding shock. But there's no escape from what she's done. They start sorting things out, asking for permission slips, rental agreements, anything that might excuse her and Bradley's squatter chic home makeover. Of course, there's nothing just more righteous outrage about empty houses and community responsibilities. Chen explains for the 10th time that being on the HOA board doesn't mean you can move your unemployed adult son into your neighbor's house. And then comes the comic relief. Bradley, seeing things aren't going his way, tries to make a break for it. Not for the stairs where 3 armed cops are standing. No, he heads for the tiny basement window. Picture a 300-pound man-child trying to wriggle through an 18-inch slot. The more he struggles, the tighter he gets. Soon enough, his legs are dangling outside his Batman tee, riding up, and half the department is called in for what will forever be known as the Great Bradley Extraction. Firefighters show up. Mrs. Patterson is outside with popcorn, and Karen's running back and forth offering unsolicited medical histories to anyone in a uniform. When they finally pop Bradley loose with a mix of dish soap and hydraulic tools, he lands on the lawn like a washed-up sea mammal covered in suds and shame. The crowd bursts into applause. I'd laugh if I wasn't so exhausted, but the story doesn't end there. Both Karen and Bradley are arrested breaking and entering false police reports, the works. Karen acts like she's the victim, stunned anyone could find fault in her good intentions. The judge isn't having it, especially after Karen in open court lets loose with a string of racist nonsense about people like me not deserving this neighborhood. The courtroom goes silent. Her own lawyer's face goes white, and you could hear a pin drop as the judge lays into her about privilege entitlement and actual justice. The fallout is pure karma. Karen's booted from the HOA, can't sell her house, and becomes the local pariah. Bradley's forced to get a job finally at 25 and sends me a text a few weeks later actually apologizing. Even Mrs. Patterson comes by with a casserole apologizing for not speaking up about Karen sooner. So here I am sitting in my brand new basement cold beer in hand security system on thinking about everything that went down. Peace, quiet, and the satisfaction of knowing sometimes the good guys win and that karma really does have an address. And if you're wondering, Bradley never did finish that slice of pizza. Now, let me ask you, who do you think was really in the right here? When does helping the community cross the line? Drop your thoughts below because honestly I bet everyone's got a story about a neighbor like Karen and I want to hear it.